we've made it to the final night of block action. After this night that we're about to review, there's only one night left of regular block action. How crazy is that?
Well, it's pretty crazy, and this is a really sad moment for me because I'm going to have to retire from the show.
It's not that bad. There's still a chance.
Okay. All right. We'll get to that. I know I always like to give a teaser for later in the show, but...
Yes, well, as it stands now, I am your host, Raja, and my current co-host, possibly not in the future, John.
Hi. I will say this, with the one terrible result out of the way, what a fantastic night. Listen, forget how far deep we are. Forget how much we've done. Forget what we got coming up. Forget all that stuff, right? All in, all out, sideways, sidewinders.
Right.
It doesn't matter. This night of wrestling, this night of Pereso was fucking great.
I think they saw what the Red Stars girls did the night before, and they were like, bet.
Yeah, they're like, hold my sake.
Yeah. We'll show you a night of amazing wrestling.
Yeah, you damn right. I mean, listen.
These two nights together are like pay-per-view level wrestling all the way around.
Yeah.
It was insane.
This night was almost all 5-star matches.
It was up there. Everybody was like on top of it.
This reminded me of like 2019, 2018, watching the final couple days of G1.
Oh, yeah. It's been so much fun, and regardless of how fast it went by, like I remember last year we were like a month and a half in, like we're still going.
Yeah, and the cool thing about these matches is with the time limit, somehow they're able to get to a normal match's 20-minute point in 5 minutes.
They're excellent at pacing within 15 minutes.
I hear 5-minute calls so often that the whole so much has already happened.
Yeah, we're like, what? Huh? It's only been 5 minutes?
It's like Cliff Notes wrestling.
How did they get here so fast?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about August 24th in Fukushima.
Woo!
Blue Stars night, the penultimate Blue Stars night of the tournament. We start off with a pre-show match. Da-da-da. A three-way where Rion took on Waka Tsukiyama and Momo Kogo.
Sorry, our staff mistyped there.
Our staff wrote Rena instead of Rion. How weird.
Yeah, we need to fire that girl.
It's a weird, misstep with all those letters being exactly the same.
Rena on the brain, maybe.
And this was so much fun, and it shows exactly like we were talking about before how far Rion has come lately.
Yeah, she
completely wowed in this match.
In
my opinion.
Yeah,
and even she was like getting Waka into the hip attacks and everything.
It was crazy, dude. It was wild how
she was in charge.
It's almost like she just is galvanized or something. Like, I don't know.
Like she's just finally coming into her own, I think. And it seems like she's kind of getting a little cozy there with the EXV girls. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're trying to recruit her into their faction.
Well, she should be so lucky.
She would be very lucky to be an EXV. That's a big faction to get into.
It is.
But Waka Tsukiyama was able to get the win. Momo Kogo got the win in their multi-man pre-show match the night before. So Waka kind of took this one back with her Moonlight Fantasy finish.
Right.
So, congratulations, Waka.
Way to go, Waka.
Then,
not a girl, Waka.
As the main card started, before the wrestling began, Ami Sori came out to say hello.
Sorry, am I?
To everyone because she's from Fukushima.
Yeah, and she suffered a tragic injury. Not tragic. Good God.
A quite bad injury.
Yeah, an unfortunate injury that took her out of this year's competition.
Yes, it's an injury she'd been dealing with, and then she re-hurt it and decided to go ahead and get surgery, allowing Rana Yagami to take her place. But she sat ringside for this entire night.
It was so interesting the whole night how they played in, and the girls care so much about one another, but who would have taken her place? And like you just buried the lead on that and said, but the friendship that had been developed there, and then Hanan, as we'll talk about, doing a bit of a tribute.
Yes.
So it was a lot of cool stuff that got mentioned throughout the night. I thought it was nice for her.
It was. I think she was really glad to be there.
Yeah.
But that starts us off with block action in Blue Stars B. We had Hanan versus Rana Yagami. And this was a match I was really excited about.
Yeah,
and
you
obviously, these two were quite excited about it as well because they came out here to show exactly what everyone's been kind of waiting to see from them both throughout this tournament. I think this was both of their best match of the tournament, in my opinion.
It was, yeah.
It was a fantastic match. They started with just like some of their grappling, like showing off, but Hanan gets to that kick she does through the ropes where she kind of slides over top of you.
Yeah.
And she did it so fast, it looked like it hurt so bad.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Hanan, like you mentioned, calling out Amisori and doing her chops in the corner on Rana Yagami, but Rana was not having any of that. She completely just fires up,
stepped into it,
gets back in the match. She's like, that's my teammate, not yours. She's got Hanan in like every armbar that she knows, like going back and forth through everything. And then Hanan hit the Hanan special. I was like, that's it. It's over.
Right.
But Rana kicked out of the Hanan special.
Right.
And she managed, by some miracle, to roll Hanan up and get the 3 count to win this match.
It's crazy. Listen, do you guys know what a big deal this is?
This is the Cinderella winner from this year.
Yeah.
Versus a rookie.
a rookie who just recently even started looking possible to win a match.
Yeah.
She was just hey, let's beat her, and we all got to see during the Wave tournament that, she came up around a little bit more, but Amisori took an eye to her, gave her spot when she went down with the injury, as Roger pointed out. I think that might have played a big part into this too. The fighting spirit of having Amisori outside the ring, her teammate, the girl that gave up her spot for Rana to have this chance. Hey, I don't want to blow this in front of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She gave me this spot. Hanan's in here making everything Hanan about her. And, she's the one that somebody dies. She's like, I was friends with them for 5 minutes,
Right,
like,
right.
Shut up, Hanan. This is Rana's. I love Hanan. We both love Hanan.
I thought Hanan was going to win this match.
Listen,
like, Rana beat Saki Kashima, and I was like, that's it. That's the only win she's getting for the tournament. That's her gimme 2 points.
And that's fair.
Yeah, but then she comes in here and beats Hanan, who we've been hyping up like she's definitely going to be one of the final 2 in her block.
Right. But the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it should be.
I yelled when she won, and she was super excited, obviously throwing her fist in the air and everything, and Ami was excited for her.
Listen, man, Hanan did a fantastic job in this match. And you got to think of selflessness.
Yeah.
And someone can go lay an egg. And because they might not like the way this match is going to finish.
Right.
Or you can go do what Hanan did. And
make Rana look like a superstar.
Make her look like a damn superstar.
Oh my goodness.
And Rana took the ball and she absolutely ran with it.
She did. She did such a good job and did not disappoint
This match was awesome.
It was. This was definitely a 4 1/4 star match in my mind. It was so good.
The surprise of this is gigantic and people should take note. Stardom has done such a great job lately of surprise finishes. Like anybody could win at any given time.
Yeah.
And I love that.
You have no idea what's going to happen.
One of the boring parts of Japanese wrestling in older times, like a month ago, was...
like last year.
Yeah. You always kind of knew who was going to be...
Right. There's like a hierarchy and you kind of know what's going to happen.
It's like working in a union or something. Like,
right.
Oh, hey, you've been here a month and a day, Dave. You get it. Sorry, Charlie. 28 days ain't going to cut it around here. I know you've been working 3 times as hard. It doesn't matter. We've got the seniority over here, and that's nice to see.
That's gone totally out the window with this tournament. Like I think anyone who filled out a full bracket before the tournament just had to tear them up. Like if nobody could have seen this coming.
If somebody out there made a bracket before the tournament notarized by Notary Public that can show me and you still have a chance in hell, I will kiss your fat hairy ass because
this has been mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Most of my picks went out the window and we've been doing it daily, and still I get most of them wrong.
Yeah, and that's lovely.
It is. It's so exciting because you never know.
So 4.25 stars. Rana, but the big surprise win. Awesome job.
Rana.
Awesome job. Yeah, come on, give it up. Rana. Yeah, all right.
We love Rana. After that, in Blue Stars A, we saw Koguma versus Anna Jay. And Anna came in here and Kuma was trying to do her bear dance.
Yes.
Anna seemed like she didn't really know what was going on at first.
Yeah, I like that.
But she eventually started to join in. You know, she followed Kuma's lead here.
It'd be funny if she really didn't know.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
Nobody told her about the bear
Like,
dance.
she don't give two shits about them, any of them. And she's like, what?
She doesn't watch any of
like,
the matches.
what is that? Yeah, she just goes out there.
What's Kuma?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she does a little dancing, but before they get to the grand finale of the dance, she just kicked Koguma and didn't let her finish the bear dance, which the crowd was like, "Oh,
yeah,
Anna."
Speaking of, things that we know are happening, right? Like,
yeah,
predictable.
But I thought this match was really nicely done. It was a faster paced match than we've seen Anna Jay give throughout the tournament because she's in there with the high speed genius. So
right.
Makes sense. She was really laying in the forearms in this match, like heavy shots. And there was a point in this match where they hit those back and forth like roll ups trying to get the quick pin on each other. But eventually Anna Jay was able to cinch in the Queen Slayer on Koguma, and despite Kuma's best efforts of getting out of it or getting to the ropes, she eventually passed out, and the referee was forced to stop the match and give Anna Jay the win.
Nice little match. It was nicely done. Like you said, the faster pace helped a lot.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch, and I think it was a solid 3-star match.
I agree with that.
It was really fun, and one of Anna Jay's best matches of the tournament, I think.
Absolutely. The one thing of Anna is I wish she had the yesteryear kind of chance to have all the weird multi-mans while she was here.
Right, like in the longer tournament years, everybody from the blocks that weren't competing would have tag matches on the undercard. And it would be like very few tournament matches each night rather than the full block having matches every night. So having that would have probably helped her a lot more to get to know everyone and like be able to actually work alongside everyone. But because she doesn't have... She's completed all of her matches now. Yeah. So tonight on the 25th, she's actually in a tag match. So
okay,
she gets at least one.
Yeah, very cool.
After that, we had our little break tag match. It was a 3-way tag match where Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara,
the babies,
took on Saki Kashima and Hina, and Rina and Natsuka Tora. So this match, of course, served to just show more of the Hina versus Rina feud. And every single time they're in the ring together, it just pumps me up more for their match.
Me too. So excited about this damn match.
They're just so much vitriol between them. And I love to watch them wrestle.
Nice use of the word vitriol.
They have so much chemistry, obviously. They're twins. Yeah. But we didn't even see this kind of...
legit chemistry.
We haven't even seen this a kind of wrestling between them like a few months ago. It wasn't to this level.
Never.
So seeing them pick it up and actually make this Future of Stardom title match matter in like a big way has been really nice to watch.
It feels like the winner of this match gets the bigger bedroom in the house because
is that what they're really fighting for?
Like something's happened here because it's they're fighting over the same boy or the same girl, whatever. There's something personal there.
Yeah.
And obviously you got personal rivalry with a sister anyway, but during this match you pointed out something. And I thought it was really cool because nothing's made of it and it's just a little thing. Mm-hmm. But someday it's going to matter.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't off the top of my head.
Somebody drop kicked Rina. Mm-hmm. And Hina came in.
Oh, it was Aya Sakura, I think. She drop kicked Rina and Hina immediately like got on her and threw her out of the ring. Yeah. I was like, that was a very I get to kick my sister, but you don't kind of situation. And I was mostly joking.
Yeah, well, it mostly happened though.
It did happen.
It happened just like that, and it was very interesting, I thought. Because
so maybe she does have the bit of care and protectiveness over her twin. How do you not?
I mean, you can hate a sibling. You can hate like the being of a sibling.
Right, like who they are.
But normally, if somebody else is beating on them and, they're in a prone position, okay, maybe your life is a bad example. But
For most people.
For most people.
Even if you don't really like your sibling or what the choices that they've made, if you see them in that position, you're bound to like
Obviously,
help.
Yeah. And it was cool. It was a cool thing to me. But again, you hit the nail on the head last show. This is all about featuring this one match, and they've been building the hell out of this match.
Oh yeah, like absolutely throwing it at the wall these past few shows.
This match should go on last. Like it should be the main event.
It feels like they've built it more than the Red Belt match.
Does
like
it
there
not?
hasn't. I know Tam's in the tournament, and they don't have a lot more of opportunities to feature the previews between her and Tora.
Yeah,
but they've barely been in the ring at all.
Yeah, I'm not excited at all for the Tam match because they beat her down so much.
I know. Just watching Tam wrestle at this point has been really difficult.
It's like the Danielson build-up.
Yeah.
I don't like the I don't have a chance in hell build-up.
Me either.
I just don't. It's something
Especially
about it.
to this degree.
Yeah.
Like where you haven't won a single tournament match.
I'm just not feeling it. And it's maybe the red belt's cursed.
Maybe. Definitely not to the degree of this match where I'm like so stoked to see these two one-on-one in the ring.
Yeah.
But we also got to see some fun little tag team moments between Sakurara.
Yes.
our little Cosmic Angels tag team.
Absolutely.
I love seeing them in the ring. But Hina got the win because the night before Rena beat Hina. But tonight, Hina pinned Rena with like a sort of Superman pin. Rolled her right up.
Very cool, man.
So they're even going into this Future of Stardom match.
They are.
I think there are more previews coming. That tag match that Anna Jay's in, she's teaming with Hina against Rena and Natsuko. So
I really like the thought of Anna Jay and Hina.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was a cool tag team.
It's almost like Japanese Anna Jay.
I think they're going to do really good together. But we get to see Rena and Hina wrestle more.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's go.
Let's do it.
Following that match, we went to Blue Stars A, where Miyu Amasaki took on Starlight Kid. Now, this match was, as you would imagine, super, super amazing. Like, work rate-wise.
Yeah.
And just the execution of all the moves.
It was so good. And from the very first, they decided at the first to not shake hands.
No. They were like, no, we're good. But it was like a friendly...
Yeah,
no.
but that was the decision of no. Look, we're in the tournament, and we're going to fight.
We're gonna wrestle each other and try to win. And they went right at it. There was like a little spot at the beginning where Miyu had the headlock on. They were like grappling around. She was trying not to lose it. And then they threw a few moves at each other, but kept getting out of the way. You know, it's a funny little opening spot. Nobody could hit anything. But then Starlight went right in for that right leg, which is a staple of hers because she tries to get the Black Tiger leg kill most of the time to finish the match. So she starts working Miyu's leg, and in the midst of this, while they're just in the ring, they grab each other's wrists and start throwing forearms, like not the slow, like back and forth that you're used to, but they're just holding on to each other and just going at it.
Yeah, just imagine back, like Native American, tie the leather around the wrist.
Right.
And fight with the knives.
Oh, yeah. It was very much those vibes.
That's what it was.
They were just trying, I think they were trying to be like, we are not afraid to fight each other, even though we're friends. And maybe because we're friends, we can be a little more violent with each other. Things took a little bit of a turn.
Enter the story.
When Miyu Amasaki was able to hit an avalanche DDT on Starlight Kid from the top rope out of the corner. And Starlight immediately rolled to the outside of the ring. And she was just... The way she was crying and holding her neck, I was worried at first.
Yeah, it felt like a legitimate injury because Starlight Kid is the best in the world.
The selling was top tier.
But it really felt like, oh crap. But Mayu Amasaki, listen, I freaking appreciate her so much more than I ever have. The level of those DDTs, we've joked about the DDTs before.
Right.
But the way she brings them up from a normal, and let's put it in perspective here. I was always kind of upset about the DDT because, DDT should be a finisher.
Right.
As I'm yelling at clouds. But if you're 98 pounds.
Right. It's a little different.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a pretty severe head bump. Mm-hmm. But it's a 100-pound girl
Yeah.
that's giving it, no matter who's receiving it, even if it's another 100-pound girl. I mean, it's still so much force coming down. It's different than a 300-pound fat guy driving your head into the concrete.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, it's been cool to kind of see how she's structured her game, where she'll start with like a standard DDT, but she works up through the levels of DDT.
She's working the head.
Yeah, because her finisher relies on that.
Yeah, so it does make sense. And this match, it was put on example. This is one of those times. The way we run this is Raj is the straight commentator here, and I'm the color guy. But sometimes the color guy has to go off a little bit, because when it's great, this was one of those times, man, when Starlight, as you said, was outside the ring crying. I was like, oh, God.
I was worried.
It was that babyface thing. No, it was like the old babyface spot. Like if we had a babyface versus babyface match.
Right.
You have a moment where somebody twinges or accidentally goes to the ropes or twinges their leg or something, and they're outside and like, and then they take advantage of the person that comes to check on them.
Right.
That wasn't this. She was still, the funny thing was Amasaki comes out and is like, oh, hell.
She just picks her right up, does another DDT on the outside of the ring.
On the floor.
Yeah, she just can't help herself.
and that's when it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to play like that.
Yeah, so we've got Miyu hobbling with her right leg hurting, and then Starlight selling the neck. So when it gets near the end of the match, Starlight tries desperately to get the Black Tiger leg kill. She's got the first stage on, and then she even grabs the arm at the same time.
Yeah, she's selling her neck real hard from these DDTs. There was even another one getting into the ring.
Mm-hmm. And it was just constant barrage. You
can imagine she puts the leg around her neck, and she wants to hold it.
Yeah, she tried so hard. You can tell that she's in pain, though.
But if your neck is twinged or sprained, you can't do it. That's the last thing you could do. You can't do a stretch muffler at that point.
Yeah, no. So she wasn't able to keep it on. Miyu continued to go after her neck with multiple DDTs, and Starlight continued to hit that leg and just make it impossible for Miyu to really stand on it at all. But it got down to that time limit, and Miyu Amasaki hit the tensai right when the bell rang.
Yeah, it wasn't a visual pin, but it was good as.
Yeah, because she would have gotten the win.
She had the match won.
Like 5 more seconds in the match, and it would have been 1-2-3.
Amazing match.
It was so good. The story, the moves that they did, just everything. The selling from start to finish was so amazing.
Had this match ended tonight, we may have looked at it even bigger than we do.
Right.
As it stands, as great as it is, any other night, this is match of the night. This is match of the week.
I know, it's so crazy to think that this was not the best match of the night. And maybe only because there wasn't a winner.
Right.
And it's very different. Like, the matches that we're talking about are very different types of matches.
They are, but we do have a long-standing thing of give us a winner, you coward.
Yes, we do like a winner. So this match had everything that you want to see, and it's definitely like 4.75.
Yeah.
Like, it's right there.
Yeah, it's
at 5
what
stars.
Is it? The subjective 5?
Yeah, it's like basically a 5.
Yeah, it's a 4.75 officially from us.
They did so good.
But it is go out of your damn way to see it.
Absolutely.
If you love wrestling, storytelling.
Yes.
Watch this match.
Yeah, because they told a whole story, and it was great to watch, because even just a few months ago when they faced the first time.
Let me ask you, is it the greatest Miyu Amasaki match you've ever seen?
I think it's the best Miyu Amasaki match, yes.
I was trying to...
Singles match, at the very least.
I was trying to remember one.
Because you got to think about things like O2 Line versus FWC, but that's not just a Miyu Amasaki match.
I did think about that. And I still think this was the best.
You still think this tops it?
The best Amasaki match.
Yeah.
Even though she's involved in that, her performance is what I'm talking about. Like,
right. The best performance that Miyu's given.
I think this, and we mentioned this earlier, and sometimes we talk so much about the wrestling when we're watching the wrestling because we love the shit.
Yeah.
That sometimes we don't mention it again when we're actually got the microphone turned on. But the elevation of Amasaki.
Oh, yeah.
this makes her one of the actual girls.
Yeah, definitely. Neogenesis has completely like changed the way that I look at her personally, and it's made her into this incredible, it's future star for sure.
It's insane right now.
Yeah, she has put in the work this year. Let me tell you.
Okay, it's your show. I give you back your show.
That's okay. That's all right. I wasn't thrilled with the placement of this match to begin with, but then I started to understand why they put this match between the two matches that it was between, because I don't know if I could have handled those two matches back to back. Yeah.
Needed a breather.
So following that time limit draw in Blue Stars B, we had Risa Sera versus Tekla.
Oh shit.
I was not very kind to this
match.
Look, hear me out. It didn't really have much to it, did it?
No.
They came in, Tekla attacked, used the belt. They did the chair shots. They threw chairs at each other. They got back in, double big spin, couple of moves. Then the ref goes down. Tekla uses her belt on Risa Sera. Risa Sera gets pissed, picks up a chair, starts beating her. When the ref tries to stop her, she kicks the ref out of the way, continues, so the ref disqualifies her.
Fair. I would have been over on it a little bit if Risa Sera's attack with that chair had not been so shitty. She tried. It honestly was like me playing with the kids.
And like trying to be careful.
Yeah, trying to be careful. That she hit the rope at one point with the chair.
Right.
And it almost came out of her hands.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know in backstage comments they talked about how they know each other and like it's always like this. Tekla always makes her angry and all that, but still.
No.
It wasn't much of a match.
No, if I know you, we're gonna have a chair that has a tattoo of your face in it. Like
we're gonna go.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you're right. This is ridiculous. And when I saw, my pop was seeing your rating.
I know. That's why I was explaining myself because you were like, just put whatever on it. So I did. I put the first thing that I felt.
Yeah,
after the match.
That's our first 1 star.
It didn't feel like a 5-star Grand Prix match. It didn't feel much like a match at all. It was just kind of there.
It was we've already been mad about both the women.
Yes.
And throwing stuff into chairs.
And after the performance Tekla gave against Suzu Suzuki in that last match, it just infuriates me to see something like this.
Yeah.
And I know it has a place, and it's like its own thing, and it's totally separate, but not in the 5-star.
You know what? Don't do it.
In the 5-star.
Don't go back and forgive it now.
I'm not going to.
Let's just move on.
I didn't enjoy it, so why would I rate it highly?
I agree with you. So to be fair, the only way we can be fair is to move on.
Yes, Tekla won by disqualification, getting her 2 more points. Then there was the semi-main event.
Blue Stars A.
Blue Stars A, Shiri versus Xena. Holy guacamole.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just don't know.
This match I knew was going to be good, but the pace they set, the moves they did.
This match is so fucking good.
Xena's work rate, Shiri's just her violence and brutality. It just fit so well together. This match started out fast. Like there was an arm wringer at first that Xena was working pretty heavy, but then they were trying to finish the match almost immediately, like with these quick pin attempts. And then they both used some hellacious drop kicks to create space in between them. Xena had control very early on, where she was the one in charge of the match until Shiri was able to grab an armbar that she transitioned like 3 times. It was like this armbar, no, this armbar, no, actually this armbar.
Right.
And it was really cool. And then we got to the point where Shiri gets outside on the apron and she does that big knee lift to Xena. Then she backs up to do something else, runs at Xena, and Xena hits that beautiful rolling power slam through the ropes on the apron, which she's credited on Twitter as learning from her man, Daga. It's one of his moves. So they both do it beautifully. It's absolutely amazing. And then they're on the outside. Xena hits a dive from the ring out onto Shiri. And then Sherry decides she doesn't want to just get back in the ring. She pulls Xena's leg off the apron, so she hits it. Then she hits a spinning DDT, kicking off the ring, and Xena's head hits the floor just outside of the mats. It looked so nasty.
It looked terrible. It looked great, but terrible.
Oh my gosh. And they got back in, and we finally got some chops from Xena, but I thought this was so interesting. Normally, Xena's chops are like a cocky thing. Like, listen how loud my chops are. Let me just stand here and hit you. They're very deliberate. But she got in there and she was just multiple chops really quick.
Well, she was also selling her hand.
Yeah, because of the dive.
During the dive, she hurts her hand. She shows the ref everything.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't have that weapon the same way.
Right. And I think this was much more about just hurting Sherry than it was about like showing off how loud her chops are. But those chops were answered by Sherry's massive kicks to the chest, which are like the first kicks that she was able to get in the whole match. So they've been going nonstop at this point. Xena goes for a suplex that Sherry turns into a guillotine. And then after that, she tries it again, but Sherry turns it into a DDT. And then she hits Xena with the hanging DDT off the ropes and is able to get her Rio and Driver and the 1, 2, 3 for the win. Holy crap.
That's a lot. So this match is Sherry in top form. It once again reminds everybody how great Xena is.
Oh my God. Xena is like top tier wrestling.
Xena is step into AEW right now.
Absolutely.
Top level. She is an amazing professional wrestler.
Absolutely
Sherry,
amazing.
Amazing professional wrestler. Both of these known as fighters. And by God,
they went for it.
They brought the most exciting match that you're going to see. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if you're a Joshi fan or not.
Right.
This was a pro wrestling match.
Absolutely.
That was also not just a pro wrestling match. It was a fantastic pro wrestling match.
Yeah.
And I don't know how 5 stars is the only thing I could say. Like, for what we've judged 5 stars.
Yeah, this was definitely.
What's the call? What do you think?
I think this was a 5-star match. There was no missteps. The action was intense. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time it was going on. I didn't know who was going to win at any point.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Right.
It really felt like
anyone could have grabbed it at any time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they just left their heart and soul in the ring. And this was maybe the best match, like, tournament-wide that we've seen.
I think so.
I'd have to go back and think on it, but
I really think it really could be. And it's just so damn good.
Yeah,
it was so much
good.
fun.
It was.
But in a, oh my God, this is competitive. This is great. The physicality, as you put over.
Yeah.
They really just destroyed one another. It was just a lot of excitement.
I had so much fun watching this match, and I was like completely set on. I was like, this is it. This is it. This is what the 5 stars all about.
Yeah. Go out of your way.
Oh God. If you watch any match of Sherry's or Xena's during this tournament, this is it. This is what you need to watch. And Sherry has put in so many great performances already, but this just felt like a main event of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, very much on the same playing field as Xena versus Micah for the red belt. Like, that's the kind of form Xena was in here.
Totally agree.
But instead of dominating most of the match, it was back and forth the whole time.
And arguably, she could be in that form every time, given the time. She's throwing in a lot of crap. You know,
she is.
It's like, oh, hey, look, we got this random tag. Let's put Xena in it. But, I mean, and I get that. And I don't think anybody's complaining about that. It's just that she's given the chance to shine here. And Jesus Christ. That
shine she did.
That woman is fantastic.
She is. Oh, this was so good.
Sherry is fantastic.
She is. And this was not our final match of the night. Our main event was from Blue Stars B, Saya Kamatani versus Suzu Suzuki.
I felt so bad for him.
And then, I know, going on after that, this was a match that is very interesting because of the fact that Suzu won last year's 5-star Grand Prix, and everyone was sure that last year was supposed to be Saya Kamatani's year before she got hurt. And it just kind of felt like, let me show you why I'm the one that's supposed to be on top. These two put in so much work in this match, and it was very much Suzu's brawling style against Saya Kamatani's more flashy, high-flying moves. Saya acting like a caged animal anytime Suzu got her to the ground or tried to pin her, just thrashing around and screaming. She is scary in this form.
She's so good.
She's excellent. There was a spot where Saya was doing these Northern Lights suplexes. She went for 3 of them in a row, but on the third one, Suzu countered it into a DDT. And then Suzu went for her standard finishing moves, the tequila shot, as well as her double German suplex where she does one, flips over, does another, and holds it.
Right.
Saya kicked out of both of those. And then she hit her Poison Rana on Suzu for a pin, but I guess Suzu was so mad she kicked out at 1.
Yeah.
They were violent, they were passionate, and neither one of them wanted to lose this fight.
No, it was fantastic. And you're right. Kamatani is like a lady possessed.
Yeah. Even the pin on this match, after she hit the Star Crusher, she sat on Suzu and held her legs, and it was a fight the whole 3 count. Like,
I love that.
Suzu was trying her very best to get out of that pin and just could not get Saya off of her.
No, I love it. I love it that she was struggling to keep her down.
It was amazing.
It really was.
They came out here to show off, and they did it.
They did. They did a great job. Like I said, I felt bad for them having 3 Incredibles, like basically in a row.
Yeah, basically.
And
this night of wrestling was just so good.
It was. What was this one? What would you put this one on stars? I almost hate to.
Me too. I would honestly rate this like 4.25 to 4.5, like somewhere in that range, because I didn't feel as like monumental.
Right.
And maybe it's because we just watched that match.
Yeah, I get that.
There were points where it was just like, I don't know what's going on and stuff like that, but it was still an excellent, phenomenal, like above 4 stars, anything above 4 stars.
I think the finish segment was fantastic. I think maybe
like once they hit the halfway point of the match, it just picked up.
I think really before that, it was kind of like, this is us doing our thing. This is what I do. This is what I do.
Right.
Whereas when you looked at the Sherry match, it was entirely a fight from the first to last.
Yeah, and there wasn't, in this main event, there wasn't like a solid story. There's just that in the back of your head, you're like, oh, this is like a thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was still a phenomenal match.
Dude,
and a great way to end the night.
Anything over 4 is amazing.
Yeah, and Saya Kamatani getting the win here just cements her at the top of this block. So it makes sense. And I feel bad for Suzu getting the loss here, but hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But that was a crazy night of wrestling, and it just pumps me up even more for the final night tonight. But standings wise, because we talked about the winning scenarios for Red Stars, we're going to talk about what could happen tonight for Blue Stars. And forgive me because it's a little convoluted, but I'm going to try to explain it in the simplest terms.
Right.
So Blue Stars A, Sariano sits at the top by herself with 7 points. She is in no matter what if both Shiri and Starlight Kid lose their matches.
Right.
She's also in with a win no matter what. So if she loses and both Shiri and Starlight Kid lose, she's still in. But if she wins, she's in no matter what. Right. If she draws, then she needs Starlight Kid to lose or draw to be able to be in and like not have craziness going on. Shiri can get in with a win, or if she draws or loses, she needs SLK to draw or lose. Basically, Shiri needs to have as many or more points than Starlight Kid because she beat her in their match. So as long as she's even or above Starlight Kid, she's good to go. But if she loses and Starlight wins, then she can't get in. If Starlight Kid wins and Shiri draws or loses, she's in. And if she draws, Shiri needs to lose for her to be in. Because Starlight Kid lost to Shiri.
Yeah.
So she needs more points than Shiri to get in.
Right.
But Shiri can get in if they have the same amount of points.
Exactly.
There is a weird scenario where if Sariano draws in her match and gets to 8 points, and both Shiri and Starlight Kid win and get to 8 points, there's like this 3-way tie at 8 points. That's like a weird scenario because Sariano and Starlight Kid drew in their match. So that would be weird if that happened.
That is really crazy. That's even possible, isn't it?
It is. It's all very crazy. And it's also, it's difficult. It's going to be difficult for Starlight Kid to get in because she's facing Xena on the final night. But Shiri is facing Miyu Amasaki and Sariano is facing Koguma. So they arguably have the easiest chance of winning their matches and getting in.
Right.
Not to say that that's definitely going to happen.
Right.
If Sariano loses to Koguma and both Shiri and Starlight Kid win their matches, then they'll both go in. And Sariano won't be able to because she'll still only be at 7 points and they'll each have 8. So any of the three of them could still be in the final 2.
But the biggest money's probably on Sariano and Shiri.
Probably the smartest money, yes, on those two. But it's still possible for all three of them to get in. Everyone else, Xena, Anna Jay, Koguma, and Miyu Amasaki, all can't get in anymore. Even if they tied with some of the people in second place, the way that the matches went with wins and losses, they can't qualify for the top 2 spots. So they're all effectively eliminated.
Very interesting.
Blue Stars B. Saya Kamatani is in no matter what at the number 1 seed. She currently has 8 points and no one else in the block can even get to 8 points at this point. So she's just good to go. So the rest of these people are fighting for second place. Risa Sera has had all her matches and sits at 6 points. So if Hanan and Tekla, who both beat her, both lose, and Suzu loses or gets to a draw, Risa Sera would be in the final 2. But all 3 of those things would have to happen.
Right.
Hanan is in with a win and Suzu losing or drawing. She's also in with a draw if Suzu loses. Because Hanan beat Risa Sera, if she draws and gets to 6 points, she'll be in above Risa Sera. However, Suzu has to win and needs Hanan to lose or go to a draw for her to get to 7 points. Because if Suzu draws and gets to 6 points, she lost to Risa Sera, so she won't be able to get in.
Crazy.
Tekla, surprisingly, is still capable of getting in. If she wins and gets to 6 points, and both Hanan and Suzu lose and stay at 5 points, Tekla beat Risa Sera, so she would be in at the second place spot.
Insane.
Which is just crazy. So I think the smartest thing is still Saya and Hanan, maybe.
Yeah.
There is a situation if Hanan and Suzu both win their matches, they'll both be at 7 points, so they would be tied for second place under Saya Kamatani's 8.
Yeah.
And above the 6 points of everyone else. So that's also a possibility. If Hanan were to beat Saya Kamatani and Suzu were to beat Rana Yagami, then they would be tied in second place, and they drew in their match. So how do you decide that?
Pretty damn insane, dude.
So there's so much that could happen on the final night.
A lot of fun.
I think the number 2 spot is probably going to come down to Hanan and Suzu, despite the fact that Risa and Tekla could both get in there. Either we're going to have a surprise win for Rana over Suzu, or Saya's going to beat Hanan, and it'll be Saya and Suzu in the final 2 spots.
Crazy.
Probably. So why don't we talk about the matches?
Let's do it.
August 25th in Yamagata at 1 o'clock Japanese time, midnight Eastern. In Red Stars A, Maika versus Manami. And Maika's in no matter what happens in this match. So
Right. But Maika...
I'm going to say Maika too. I think she's going to go totally undefeated in the 5-star.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
It feels like it. It feels like a Maika year. Hazuki versus Natsupoi. One of these is going to be the second place person, whoever wins this match. If it goes to a draw, Natsupoi's in. But there's probably going to be a winner.
Yeah, I would have to say I think it's Natsupoi.
I think so too.
Point.
As much as Hazuki is impressed throughout this tournament, it just feels like Natsupoi is the one that's going to hit second.
It really does.
And then Ruaka versus Yuna Mizumori. Yuna trying to get at least 2 points before the end of this tournament.
I'm praying for Yuna.
Me too. Let's go, Yuna. Red Stars B. Mayu Utani versus Tomoka Inaba, which is basically a win and you're in situation. Like, there's some convoluted stuff there too, but I think it's going to be whoever wins this match is in.
I go with Mayu Utani.
Me too. I think Mayu's gonna.
I think it's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
But I think it's Iotani. I think we're getting a lot of fan service.
Tam Nakano versus May Sarah, and Tam is still at 0 points.
I mean, at this point,
do you give Tam a win?
Why give her a win?
You think she goes 0 the whole time?
The better story is going 0.
I agree. I think May's probably gonna win. And then Saya Ida versus Azumi. Azumi currently sits at the top of the block, and a loss here doesn't disqualify her unless she loses and Mayu and Tomoka go to a draw, then they would both go to the final, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm going to go with my heart and put Saya Ida.
Yeah, I'm going to join you. Saya Ida all the way.
Since it doesn't hurt Azumi.
It doesn't. It would just put her in second place to whoever wins Mayu versus Tomoka, because they would have 10 points.
And she hasn't went flawless.
No, she's had draws.
So it doesn't hurt anything.
No. Blue Stars A, Sariano versus Koguma. I think I'm going to pick Sariano and just say she's going to have a clean, top number 1 seed win here.
Yeah, she's not, though. Koguma's going to roll her up.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's going to be messy?
Yeah.
Shiri versus Miyu Amasaki.
Miyu Amasaki's going to
You're just betting on Starlight getting to the top, aren't you? Honestly, I'm going to pick Miyu too. I think she's going to get a win here and blow all the plans out of the water.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere.
I really do believe this. Xena
versus Starlight Kid.
I think SOK takes care of business. I do. I think she takes care of business. And I know this is 2 losses in a row, maybe more, for Xena.
Yeah. It's been a hard time for Xena.
But she's done great performances. I really just feel that maybe this is one of those big shockers, where Xena just beats the crap out of her. But I think
we're going to pick Starlight because that's what we want to happen.
Yeah.
Blue Stars B, Suzu Suzuki versus Rana Yagami. It's tough, especially after what we just saw with Rana and Hanan. I
believe that Suzu is going to be pissed off. Yeah. And Rana's going to be feeling good and goaty. Uh-huh. And she's going to get her ass kicked.
I kind of agree with you. Yeah, I think Suzu's probably going to win this match. Saya Kamatani versus Hanan. Honestly, I see a big shock win for Hanan in this match.
I think Hanan has to bring it home on this. And I agree with you.
And then Saki Kashima versus Tekla. Go Saki Kashima.
And, honestly,
I'm ready for another quick win.
Story-wise?
Yeah. It's a hate member. She's going to be super mad.
It's the hate member.
Yeah. She's going to get in there and be like, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's not the hate. Konami would be the one. But yeah, Tekla just put herself out there.
She does. So that's happening in a matter of hours. And I'm so excited to see what happens and who ends up going to the quarterfinals next week. And we're getting so close to the end of the 5-star.
I'm excited for everything. I'm going to fight through all the tiredness.
Who needs sleep?
And make it through this because this is exciting, folks. And
so good.
Damn, I can't wait to bring you the next one because the next one we're going to know everything.
Yeah, we're going to know everything about the finals and then we're going to get to pick who we think is going to go all the way.
Woo!
So thank you so much for listening to all these reviews of the 5-star Grand Prix so far. We're getting close to the end, so just hang in there a little longer. Follow us on all our socials at Wrestling Is Her so you can see all our tweets and all our things that we put out there. And listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, anywhere you like to listen to podcasts. But for now, I'm Raja. He's John. So long from Wrestling Is Her. Bye.